Okay. This is a new package. It was installed the first week in April. This is a very good sign. We have lots of bees in the top of the third deep. So we're going to do a quick check for signs of the queen, see if she's been in this box or if she is in this box. I may do a reverse. If she's in this box, I may move that down. Queens will tend to move upward, but will rarely move downward. And so if she's filled this one with eggs and brood, then we'll want to move it to the bottom, because then that means that the middle box and the bottom box potentially had brood that already hatched out, and there will be empty cells there that she can go back up into and then lay eggs. So we'll take a quick check and see. Not surprisingly, this frame is filled primarily with food. You can see the shinies maybe in those cells. The light's not really good from this angle, but lots of food, no brood, which is fine. Usually on the outside edges you don't expect to find brood. And if you do, a lot of times that means they're running out of space and the queen is putting eggs wherever she can. So okay, this one is not fully drawn out yet. As you can see, there's plenty of empty space. Even so, the queen likes this new wax, and she's got some eggs in some of these cells. You're probably not going to be able to see it, and the fact that it's not connected to the bottom, it's pretty wobbly. I don't want to tip it too far because it might break the wax out. So, but there are lots of eggs in this. I'm going to hold it where I can point with my finger. All down here, all this is new wax, and every single cell down here has an egg in it. And then over here, this is actually drone brood. You can tell the difference in size between the worker brood. There's 25 per square inch versus 16 per square inch for drone brood. And there's also eggs in these drone cells. So the queen is making drones as well as workers at this point. We'll do a quick check, make sure she's not actually on this frame right at this moment. We don't want to hang it on the outside of the hive if she's on here, but I don't see her. Okay, here we go. Look at all that brood. Now when I added this third box last week, I did pull some of the brood frames up from the middle box to the top box, and I believe this is one of those. But you can see it's a mixture of, you can see the drone brood are these bullet shaped caps here, and then this is worker brood, the ones that are flat, because the drones are so much bigger than the workers. I don't see any eggs in here, so this is almost certainly brood that I pulled up. Oh, there's some open brood. Probably can't see it, but in those drone cells right at the top, there's some open brood in there. Okay, we have open worker brood on this frame, and this is not one that came up from underneath. So this brood that's down here, there's open brood down here, that's new since I added this third box. So the queen has been up here laying eggs. Lots of it, lots and lots of it up here. And I see eggs as well. So there's open brood, and she's also been laying here within the last 3 days. If you see eggs that have not hatched yet, they're less than 3 days old. This one's heavy, so it's got a lot of food in it. Oh, but it also has brood. This has a combination of open brood and many cells that have food in it. and lots of capped brood. This is another one that I pulled up from the center box when I added this box last week. A lot of it is hatched out. Nope, no brood on that frame. A lot of food on this one. No brood. Alright. I think we've seen enough in this box. Let's move down to the middle box. A lot of bees in this box. If there's this many bees in the bottom box, I may want to put some honey supers on this hive. Okay, this frame has a lot of capped brood on it. It's not very well connected on the sides, and it's not connected on the bottom, so I don't want to tip it too far because I don't want it to break out. But there's open brood and capped brood, worker brood. And don't see any eggs, I just see some very young open brood. And more open brood on this side, so it's a good thing I added that third box, because they've already got brood in this outside frame in the middle box. Oh yeah, wow, what a nice brood frame. Holy crap, look at that. That whole frame is all worker brood. That's going to be, and on both sides, no less. Next week, these will be hatching out. That's going to be another 3,000–4,000 bees in this hive, just from that one frame. Okay, now when I added last week, I put in some empty frames. They were older frames that I repurposed, or I cut the wax out of and put them back in. And you can see they've started drawing out a little bit of new comb on it, but not anything to write home about. A little bit over here too, so that's new. So they'll just keep working on that. You rotate the wax out every few years. I go with 5 years because of the fact that many pesticides that they pick up trace amounts of out in the wild are fat soluble, and they will be suspended in the wax. And after a while, the wax gets so much of that built up in it, it becomes toxic. So you have to rotate the wax out. Didn't used to be that way, but it is now. Okay, we have open brood on this one. Don't know if you can see it, but there's open brood on this. Open worker brood. On both sides. And there's eggs in this one too, looks like. Oh wow. You probably can't see this, but there's just as many bees in the bottom box as there is in this box. Okay, and here's another one that I repurposed last week, so this is when I cleaned the old wax out. That's a week's worth of wax that they've drawn out. So they've been busy in this frame. Young bees tend to want to draw out wax, draw out comb, and so I will frequently put empty frames next to frames that have lots of capped brood in them, on the assumption that when they hatch out, those young bees are going to want to go over there and start drawing out comb, and it seems to work pretty well for me. And there are eggs. Holy cow. Some of this is drone brood, and there are eggs in there. I'm probably not going to be able to see it. It's kind of hard to pick it out with the light colored wax. Oh, and there's the queen. See the queen with the yellow dot on her back? So she's looking for some place to lay some more eggs. Well, good for you. I'm going to leave you right in here because I don't want to lose you. All right, so we know where the queen is. She's in the middle box. I'm going to close this up because she's doing a great job. I'm thinking probably next week I'll probably be adding some honey supers on this hive. I'm guessing that there's a couple of other frames in here that were new that they will be drawing out on, and once they've pretty much drawn those frames out, we'll want to give them somewhere else to focus their energies, and that would be something good to do with the honey supers. So we're done with this hive.